You're leaving.
Now it shouldn't echo.
All right, now we're back. So now for all participants, I have to let everybody know that we are recording and we're transcribing all this talk. So welcome to the assessors meeting for October 28th, 2024. And I'm here. Jerry Bates is here, our principal assessor, and board member Dave Kersey is present, and board member Kevin Rudden is on the telephone. Where's the mic for this thing so that they could maybe hear if he would? That's the mic?
Yeah.
Okay, well then let me, I'll just put it closer. Okay. The mist just tells me the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm very loud. Oh, down here it said chat with participants. Oh. Anyway. Okay. I think I've covered all the housekeeping stuff. Mr. Rudden makes a motion to approve the 27th meeting.
Kersey second.
Kersey seconds. All those in favor, please say aye.
Kersey aye.
And O'Brien aye, so it's a unanimous. August 27th meeting, yeah. What else do I have in my hand? Meetings of October 7th.
And you also have executive session minutes.
And we can't approve these today?
Yes.
Yes, what?
You vote to approve the executive session minutes as well.
I'm sorry, my motion was for the October 7th regular meeting.
Oh, okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so Kevin he made a mistake. He wanted to redo it so that the motion he made was for the October 7th minutes. Yeah, the agenda has the wrong date.
I apologize for that.
Oh, okay.
We can fix that. That's not.
Yes, we can fix that. Not a problem. FYI, everybody. It's it was 10/7/24 minutes. And do we want to go through it again?
Kersey second.
And O'Brien votes in favor, and
Kersey aye.
Kersey and Rudden says aye. Okay.
Second.
All right, hold on one sec. All right. Oh, I forgot what it was. Now I remembered. Yes. Okay.
It's October 7th, 24.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And Kevin made a motion, and Dave seconded. All those in favor?
Kersey aye.
And O'Brien says aye. So we're going to approve them and yet keep them confidential until such time. But at least they're approved. Okay. Review articles for the special town meeting. There are a couple of new clauses that fall under 59.5. There's a 22I and a 22J. Is everybody familiar with them? Yes. Yes, they don't start until FY26. Well, Well, okay, now, without anything in front of me, they don't start until 26. I thought the
22I and J won't take effect.
well, one can, the other one cannot.
No, '26.
But does that give enough time for them to be approved by the Attorney General once our warrant goes to the state?
No, they're already.
That's already signed by the governor.
Okay.
That the governor already signed into effect, called HERO Act on August the 8th. She signed it into law. Well, if it doesn't start till next year, it wouldn't be an issue. So how many, you have, there was any, an approximation on how many, motor vehicle 22s we give out for $400? Where would we get that?
Have to do it now, Mr. Chairman, we just need to be aware of the number for budget time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, but I think that, I think Sherry has it.
There are currently there are 22 plus 22 exemptions that are given out.
$8,800.
Okay, you're right. 8,800. So it would go up by $8,800 for the 22. And then what about the 22E? So that would be 17,000, 17 and 8. That's 25,000 and change. And then in case anyone else comes in on it. But now the one that brings the COLA into it cannot be, that's why
And the one that's auto excise tax doesn't come out of the overlay.
no, I got that one, but I'm talking about the 22s. And the 22Es, the increase in the exemption. I'm thinking, I thought it really went into effect this year because it was,
It even states in the HERO Act that it's FY26 for these clauses.
see, I thought that was for the COLA increase.
It's,
Okay, the reason why we're going over this is you got two separate competing laws, Dave. And the in here, there's also a comment in there. I think it was 59.5 something.
you cannot
You
accept
can't-
both, and that is per Jim Crowley at the DLS.
What can't we do both?
You cannot accept 59.5 C and 22 J.
That's correct.
It's one or the other.
Okay,
They work
59.5 C1/2.
To each other, but 22J is strictly for the veteran exemptions, whereas 59.5 C1/2 covers all of the exemptions, that you can increase the amounts up to 100%. On every single exemption, the 41Ds, the 17E, the 37A, and the 22.
Okay, all right. Just bear with me here for a second, folks. 59.5 C
C and a
and a
half.
half. It's, but that would raise all of the exemptions by the COLA.
All of the exemptions by up to 100%. It works similarly to clause 22J that has been enacted in, under the HERO Act.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think, that's not on the list here for us to look at, because I thought we did.
Two that you board voted on to put on the,
Yeah,
on the
okay,
warrant.
the 22J,
mhm.
and then, and I'm just trying to find it. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading it.
22I is the top paragraph.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're looking in the wrong place. So the 22I is the COLA. And that means that we would increase the $800 to $800 plus whatever the DOR commissioner tells us next year that the COLA is going to be. If he says it's 2%, we would add 2% to the 800 or 2% to the 2,000. Now, we don't do the ones in between here, do we? 22B, 22C, we don't do those.
We have a 22A. The majority is 22s. We have 122A and 1622Es, or 1722Es.
With a capital letter, correct?
With capital letter, yes,
On the ABC, et cetera.
yeah.
Why are we voting on these? If you already voted to put them on the warrant, what are we voting on tonight?
We're just talking
Yes.
about it,
Just review.
just a review. The amount of veterans' real estate tax exemptions have not increased over the last 15 years, 15 to 19 years. The intended purpose of this article is to provide for a 100% increase in exemptions. So we do have a 22, and we do have a 22A with a large capital A, and 22B, and
Nope, we don't have a 22 capital B, we have a 22 capital E.
Yeah,
And
but-
22 capital A.
you don't have a C.
We don't have the B or C.
Okay, then we need to make sure we take them out of here. Off any paperwork, that's, like final warrant,
Final warrant's already out,
it's in. When is the town meeting?
November 18th.
You take it out the motion.
Yeah, okay, so just take it out of the motion when it's read. Yeah, okay. I is the COLA. 100%,
That's good to me. I support.
okay. Dave,
Support both of them too.
supports both of them. Okay, then it's unanimous that we all support 22I and 22J. And just for sure,
Can I make a motion? Nine clause, and I want to get the right chapter and verse. Chapter 59, section 5, clause 22I, and clause, that's one article, and the other one is clause 22J.
okay.
Kersey second.
Having it offered as a motion and seconded, all those in favor?
Kersey, aye.
Aye.
And O'Brien, aye. Okay. That takes care of that, right? Any other discussion on those two? Then we do know that anybody that has a 100% exemption, gotta make sure you use the right words. Anybody that has a rating of 100% from the VA, or or there's an or in here, or they're not employable and the VA is paying them as 100%. Then in that particular case, they're now eligible for a full exemption on their auto excise tax.
Yes, we do not have to vote on that, and that already took effect.
Right, that's because of the preamble.
Correct.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about it, letting everybody know that. So anybody that gets 100% or is rated at 100% can have that.
Yep.
So, okay, good.
And that's actually going back several years to how it used to be. Rather than because it was that way, and then they changed it that they had to have MAB certification, and now they're changing it back to the way it was, which makes it just a lot easier.
Now, what, MAB?
Medical Advisory Board for.
That's what I thought it was, yeah. Yeah, so now they're just letting the VA do it. And I think for all intents and purposes, it's, the VA knows what they're doing. The Medical Advisory Board doesn't need to get involved with the veterans.
Right. But
So-
it does mean gives the VA slip in, you have to keep a list of that. So when you get a commitment for auto excise taxes, you're able to look it up very quickly.
Okay. All right, she's smiling.
That's what we figured out we're doing here, because we just got an auto excise tax commitment where that my board's voting on tonight. And I said, that's great. How do we know who's on it? So what we did is we went through last year's and this year's veterans exemptions. And anybody that's 100% or can't work, we just made a list of.
Okay, so does this mean that moving forward, we're going to use a list on who got it this year, so that if you get it a car next year, you're automatically not going to get a bill? Yeah, okay, all right, I'm good with your answer. So the answer is no, we don't do that. We just anybody that's on 100%, because 100% do change. So it's okay that they get the bill, bring it in, and then we just debate it.
With the proper documentation. Because they'll need to bring me in something that states it, because if for some reason they're coming in.
If you gave them a
And they
22E, you
didn't
know it.
get, right, if they get a 22 capital E already, not a problem, but if there's somebody new,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
the-
oh,
the
absolutely.
documentation.
Yeah, but no, I was talking about the idea that we knew that we gave
We
you
knew
22E
this.
last year, then you're okay.
Okay,
No,
they should-
no, they have to show every year that they're a 22E.
Yeah.
With the VA form.
They file. It's already at 100.
Yeah,
Right, exactly, okay. All right, any questions about that, folks? Hearing none, we'll move on to the review the senior means tested exemption spreadsheet. Did you get one, Kevin? Okay,
I don't know, I need to talk to Jeremy about getting set up to discuss that. Or if we're gonna do it at the, have them do it at the classification hearing.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't do it at the classification hearing.
Okay,
You need to do it before, so it goes in the LA5. It's it affects the tax rate.
I've missed their deadline already,
for when?
they have a meeting on the 30th already.
You go to the next, as long as it's before the classification hearing, so you can plug the number into the LA5.
When's the classification hearing?
November 20th.
I'll have a meeting before then.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, I'll talk to Jeremy tomorrow and, see about getting on the, when their next meeting will be to get on the agenda for this.
Great
Okay.
email.
I have to leave, because my meeting's starting in Holliston. But last year, the select board picked 150%. So the numbers look fine to me, so it's up to them to pick a percent.
Well, they're the ones that picked the percent, right?
They did 150 last year.
And I would reckon that they would do the same thing this year.
True, okay, I gotta go, apologies.
Okay, my regards. Okay,
That's it then.
your phone. Yeah, so we don't vote on this, but this is for them so that they can see what it would cost them. So
Get on the next agenda. Next
it's,
available agenda before the 20th. Maybe you could send that to Katie and Jeremy, just an email.
Yeah,
Please schedule the meeting next. I always have Andrea do that just because sometimes you talk to them, they forget.
yes,
what, Jeremy?
Anybody around here.
It's hard to talk to them?
No, when you talk to them, then they forget, then it's on you. I always put an email. Please schedule me for next agenda. Here's my items. Thank you. So then if it doesn't end up on there.
You know, I already sent you the,
Yeah, I sent it to you, not,
in writing.
because I've had it happen to me before. I'm sure you have too. Oh, I don't remember you talking to me about that.
But it's gonna cost $53,000 us to take the 150%. $100%. 50%. Now, help me out, since I don't deal with this. The 50%, CB being the,
circuit breaker.
circuit breaker, senior circuit breaker. If it was at the 50% mark, that's 50% of what they got from on the circuit breaker from the state.
Correct.
So if we went with the 150, it's 1.5 times what they got back from the state. And you're telling me that there's another rule when it comes time for exemptions. Standard exemptions, the widow, the seniors, and then veterans and whatnot, you cannot pay less in tax this year than you did last year. If you do, it stops at even Stevens with last year.
But the senior means I don't believe it has that same wording.
We need to find that out. Because it's
I need to.
in the
see who has-
59.5 area.
Yeah, I need to see who has a copy of that.
We should have asked Kevin, so,
I can call him tomorrow.
right. So call him, get the answer, and then send it out to all of us in an email. That it is true, because it is true that if all the other exemptions, if your tax rate, not your tax rate, if your tax value didn't change, your tax rate didn't change, but you're gonna get a COLA, for example, on the veterans, which would put you paying less property tax this year than last, we have to stop at the $400 and you don't benefit by the COLA.
Mhm.
Until another thing happens, and I have a huge spreadsheet, and you must have the same one similar for the standard exemptions. Making sure that they don't pay less than what it was last year. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. All right. All right, so having said that,
We're gonna do adjourn.
what are we up to? We're up to a motion to adjourn. I will step down from chair and second that motion,
Where's the eye?
and Kersey, aye. O'Brien says aye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this glorious Monday night. All right, how do we do this?
Big red button.
I'm looking for the mouse. Do I got it backwards? No.
Yes, you do.
Where's the mouse?